UFC Vegas 108, Albazi versus Taira, full card predictions. As always, we're going to start with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Starting off the card, we have Taira Rodriguez versus Caitlin Souza. And I'm going to take Taira Rodriguez. Caitlin Souza is one of those fighters where I think she's better than what she actually is. I was looking at her record. I'm like, she kind of actually has an record, if I'm being honest. But she does pull off some huge upsets in the Noche UFC card. She was at plus 300. She got it done. So props to her. She's one of those you can't really count out, but in that Angela Hill performance, she just got outclassed. And Angela Hill just looked like the better fighter, even though Angela Hill is like 41, I think, 39, something like that. But I'm going Taira Rodriguez. She just has a grappling advantage, a huge grappling advantage. In her last fight, she was a plus 250 dog and destroyed her opponent. I would just be careful, Rodriguez, because Souza, like I said, she has a huge advantage on the feet. I think Souza is a way better striker. But if Rodriguez gets this to the ground, which she most likely will, I got Rodriguez getting this done. Moving on up the card, we have Andre Lima versus Felipe Bunes. And I'm going Andre Lima. Don't get me wrong. Felipe Bunes is a decent fighter. He's coming off that submission win against, I think his name was Johnson. He's a 6-foot flyweight. But yeah, I'm going Felipe Bunes. I'm going Andre Lima. Andre Lima, tough prospect, coming off a good win. And I just feel like Felipe Bunes, kind of sounds corny to say, but he's just used to losing. He's a heavy grappler. So I don't know. Both these guys are really good fighters. Felipe Bunes will have the reach advantage in this fight. But something's just telling me Andre Lima's going to get it done again. So I'm just going to go with my gut. And I'm going Andre Lima to get this. Like I said, he's a really good prospect. Felipe Bunes, he's alright. You know what I mean? Like, he's alright. So, we'll see what's up. Moving on up the card, we have Nick Klein versus Andre Puliev. I'm going Nick Klein. Andre Puliev has lost to better competition than Nick Klein. But also, Andre Puliev is really tall for middleweight. 6'4" middleweight. I don't even know how bro's making that weight. But Nick Klein, bro just has a huge grappling advantage again. It's kind of like the same trend. A couple grapplers in these early fights on the prelims. But Nick Klein, bro, both these guys are, honestly, if I'm being honest, they're both Like, Puliev's better on the feet. Nick Klein has better grappling. I'm going to go with the better grappler, especially since Puliev seems like he doesn't really want to grapple as much. Takedown defense is just all right. So I'm going to go with Nick Klein getting it done. Moving on up the card, we have Rodolfo Vieira versus Tresean Gore. Now, give me Rodolfo Vieira to get this one done. The reason I'm going Rodolfo Vieira is because Tresean Gore has been getting finished, and Rodolfo Vieira is a finisher. I believe all of his wins come by finish. But the only thing I don't like about in his last fight, man, he versus Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski showed up in on short notice. Like, Rodolfo Vieira has really good jiu-jitsu, bro, but I feel like sometimes he just doesn't really know how to get those entries. Doesn't really know how to get the takedowns, you know? So he has really good submissions, but if he's not able to land a takedown, then Tresean Gore might win this. The pick will be Rodolfo Vieira, but Tresean Gore also has a nasty guillotine. So if Vieira doesn't get those nice entries, bro, search this clip up. Tresean Gore catching a guillotine choke. Holy shit, bro, he almost ripped the guy's neck off. I'm not even joking. Like, he literally almost ripped the guy's neck off. His guillotine chokes are nasty. So, like I said, I'm going Rodolfo Vieira, but Gore is the better striker. And Vieira's like, I don't know, bro. His takedown entries can be better. So, give me Rodolfo Vieira by finish. Moving on up the card, we have Rinya Nakamura versus Nathan Fletcher. And I'm going Nathan Fletcher. I can't go Rinya Nakamura, unfortunately, because he just, bro. He just. I mean this respectfully, bro. He's just a dumb fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a wrestler all his life. I snagged him up. I'm saying me, but like in general, a whole bunch of people snagged him up last fight, threw him in the parlay. I had Rinya Nakamura actually in the safe bet. Was it the safe bet? I think he was in the safe bet. I snagged him up like a minus 350. He ended up being like a minus 800, minus 900, something like that. He was a wrestler. In his last fight, he did not shoot a takedown and decided to stand with the guy. He had a clear grappling advantage over. So if he does this with Nathan Fletcher, I'm going Nathan Fletcher. If he just tries to strike, he's not a really good striker. He's not known for striking. And Nathan Fletcher, I mean, if we're being honest, bro's pretty nasty. He got robbed in his last fight. If you look at the scorecards, literally he got almost the same amount of control time as Logren and way more significant strikes, but he still lost that somehow. A lot of people screaming robbery. I thought it was robbery. It looks like a robbery on the scorecards. So give me Nathan Fletcher. If you feel a little iffy about placing this bet, I get it. You know, maybe Rinya wants to wrestle again, but until I see that, I'm going to be going Nathan Fletcher. Moving on to the main card. Also, on this card, I believe Azmat was fighting. I mean, that's what it said. It said Azmat was also on the prelims. Maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe the fight got canceled. So, if Azmat is on this card, Azmat Bekoev, I'm going Azmat. We have Daniel Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. And in my notes, I wrote Kevin Vallejos by brutal KO. We could just leave it at that. If you don't know who Kevin Vallejos is, he fights like Ilia Topuria. I mean, same height as Ilia Topuria too at featherweight, but he's nasty. And he's versing a lot of these taller featherweights, which is kind of crazy. His last opponent was 6 foot. I don't think that's gonna matter. I mean, they damn near have the same reach advantage. I mean, they damn near have the same reach. So Danny Silva low-key is all torso, if I'm being honest. But for Kevin Vallejos, he's nasty, coming off a first round brutal KO. His only loss is to Gene Silva. So it's like, that just shows you what type of fighter this guy is. He's nasty as hell. I'm going Kevin Vallejos all day. All day. And yeah, Danny Silva just isn't really that convincing. He's going to split decisions with people, while Vallejos is just KOing. Tall guys, doesn't matter. Decent guys, he's knocking them out. Moving on up the card, we have Neil Magny versus Dos Santos. And I'm going Dos Santos in this fight. He's coming off a bad knock. Not that bad, but he's coming off a knockout against Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And yeah, I don't know, man. Neil Magny's coming off a brutal KO against Carlos Prates. And I think he versed that one Canadian guy. I can't remember his name. I think he lost. I don't know if that fight got canceled, but I think he also lost that fight. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't know if he's coming off the Prates fight or another fight. But I'm going Dos Santos for sure. I just feel like he's a better fighter. He gives a lot of people problems. But this is one of those fights where I don't know why I'm getting a gut feeling that Neil Magny might just be able to sneak his way and win this. I don't know why, but I wouldn't bet on it. But Dos Santos was a favorite against Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and he didn't look it. Like, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang destroyed this guy. But Dos Santos has really good wins. He took Rinya to a draw, which arguably you could say Dos Santos won that fight. Dos Santos also looked good against Strickland. I think he has a win over Strickland. He has a win over a couple names a couple years ago. Now he's but I'm still going to take him to win in this matchup. Moving on up the card, we have Karol Rosa versus Nora Cornell. I'm going Karol Rosa. Karol Rosa, even though she's coming off that loss against Aylin Perez, I don't know, man. I bet on Karol Rosa before to win fights. She looked really good. I bet against her in the Perez fight, but Perez just had a huge grappling advantage. Would just grapple her, hold her there. And Rosa, I mean, Nora is coming off that first round sub in her last fight, but she isn't really a grappler, so I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a mostly striking matchup. The way Nora got that sub in her last fight was just her. It was a scramble. She was able to get the back, choke her out. But yeah, I think Kyle Rosa just has more experience over better competition in the UFC, especially striking wise. Nora fought a hard opponent in Jacqueline Cavalcanti. So, but yeah, give me Kyle Rosa to get this done. I just feel like she might be a little too experienced. But one thing about Kyle Rosa that I don't like, I feel like sometimes she starts off a little slow. So we're going to have to see what she's looking like come fight. Like, honestly, the first round. And then maybe this might be like a bet you place, while you're watching it. But I'm going Kyle Rosa. I think she should be able to get this one done. Moving on up the card, we have Elves Brenner versus Esteban Ribovics. I'm going Esteban Ribovics. Esteban Ribovics. Elvis is on a 2-fight losing streak. Hasn't won in 2 years. Esteban Ribovics is a monster. Lost his last fight to a monster. Literally. The guy's on, I think the guy he faced on a 5-fight win streak. Maybe more. So, I think this is Esteban all day. Especially just seeing him have a crazy war against El Huber, which he was an underdog for. And like I said, Elvis Brenner, I mean, he's mainly a grappler. Esteban can grapple if he wants to. But Esteban can grapple if he wants to. But I feel like if Brenner tries to grapple Ribovics, bro, I feel like Ribovics is just gonna have the takedown defense to just negate a lot of the takedown entries coming from Brenner. So I do believe Ribovics wins this. He should win this. So I'm going Ribovics to win. I think he's just gonna have an advantage on the feet. He's gonna look a lot better, and he might be able to negate the takedowns. And when you negate the takedowns from Brenner, I think it's going to be a long fight. Moving on up the card, we have Mateusz Rebecki versus Chris Duncan. Similar situation in this fight. First of all, this fight is a banger. I chose Chris Duncan to beat Vucenic. Did just that. But Chris Duncan at times can be a sub or bust type of guy. It's either he gets a sub or he loses. Both fighters are okay. Nothing crazy. Damn, boy. No, both fighters are okay. Nothing crazy. Both have takedown defense, but Rebecki is coming off a crazy brawl with Albazi. He was also the underdog in that fight. Both these guys were underdogs in their last fight. I believe Rebecki's a favorite. I don't know by how much right now, but I believe he is the favorite. He should be the favorite. I'm picking Rebecki. I just feel like both these guys can land takedowns. Both these guys have takedown defense. So what that opens to is who's going to shoot first. And we've seen Rebecki be the more durable fighter time and time again, especially in that last fight against Albazi. I think he'll be better on the feet than Chris Duncan. And Rebecki also does have a couple submissions, man. So, like I said, I think this should be a Rebecki masterclass. But don't quote me on masterclass unless he wins by masterclass. You know what I'm saying? So I could look like a genius. But Chris Duncan, his last win isn't as impressive as an Albazi win. Vucenic was relatively untested. He got fraud checked by Chris Duncan. The UFC sent Vucenic packing for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, give me Rebecki. I think he's just a better striker. He does have pretty short ass arms, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but I think he's a better striker, and hopefully just negate some of those takedowns from Chris Duncan. Moving on up the card, this is a banger fight. We have Amir Albazi versus Tatsuro Taira, and I'm going Tatsuro Taira. Bro, Amir Albazi, I just can't trust him. I was watching that Brandon Moreno fight live. He's one of those, bro, you have a clear grappling advantage. Try to implement the grappling. He couldn't implement the grappling, and he got destroyed on the feet. Just made it look silly. I feel like the difference between these two fighters is Amir Albazi, he's a grappler, right? Obviously. But it's hard for him to implement his grappling, if that makes sense. Tatsuro Taira, he's gonna grapple, and he can grapple. He can take you down. Amir Albazi's a wrestler, a grappler, but he can't. He like struggles to take people down. So it's like I know who's gonna get the takedowns in this fight, and it's Taira. And Taira also, in my opinion, hasn't really faced the competition that Amir Albazi has. In his last fight, Taira, if he just did a couple things, he could have won that fight. Amir Albazi had to change the whole game plan. Like I said, Taira's coming off a war against Royval. He got 12 minutes of control time and escaped the multiple submission attempts from Royval. He got a couple submission attempts. The only real ultimate deciding factor was Royval's jab. Royval's jab kept posing Taira problems, kept giving Taira problems. But Brandon Moreno, bro, he master-classed Amir Albazi. And in these type of situations, I'm going with the better grappler, in which could be a mostly grappling matchup, especially if Amir Albazi is going to try to keep this on the feet. I don't think he's going to be able to negate the takedowns of Taira. Taira's very crafty as a grappler. And against Kai Kara France, Amir Albazi was only able to land one takedown. So you're a grappler who struggles taking people down. Split decision against Kai Kara France. Honestly, some people say Amir Albazi got robbed. Kai Kara France got robbed, but yeah, if there's a submission available, I'm taking Taira. If there's a take, I just feel like he's more of a threat. He has more finishing potential. So I'm going to Taira. Let me know what you guys think about these predicts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and we're out.